As you recall, an array list can only contain objects. If we would like to put some primitive data types in an array list, we have a way to do it with wrapper classes. A wrapper class takes an existing object or value of primitive type, wraps it in an object, and provides a set of methods for that type. The point of a wrapper class is to provide extended capabilities for the wrapped quantity. Can be used in generic Java methods that require objects as parameters. In each case, for all of these primitive data types, it allows for construction of an object from a single value, wrapping the primitive in a wrapper object, and retrieval of the primitive value, unwrapping. As you can see, the identifiers for the appropriate wrapper class are pretty much the same as the individual primitive data types, with the exception, for instance, that character is all spelled out and integer is all spelled out, and they are all starting with an uppercase, which is consistent with the rest of the way that we do all Java objects. The only thing that you're going to need to know about wrapper classes is how to wrap them up in an object, and really we're just going to be doing doubles and integers, but I would like you to know that it applies to all of them. And grabbing the value. So since it's an object, you need a method to say what's the value of that integer or what's the value of that Boolean. And so here's an example of how you might use it. Let's say that you want to make an array list of numbers, of integers specifically. So you say array list of integers just like this. The wrapper class identifier, and we'll call it list, is assigned new array list integers, so this is just a default size. And because they're objects, you need to use the word new, and how you make them is you just put the integer value that you want inside the integer wrapper class constructor. So for instance, if for list you want to put two values in, we'll use the array list method add, and we're going to add it to index 0 and index 1, a new integer 55, and so that one will contain 55, and a second one that contains 66. Let's say that you have a lowercase integer, int, and you name it sum. This probably isn't very descriptively named, because what you want to do is you just want to get the first one twice, and you want to add that up and assign it to sum, lowercase int. Well, you can't just take an uppercase integer and assign it to a lowercase integer, but what you can do is you can get the value. So with the array list object list, you grab the contents of the first index, and you say, which is an integer, and you say, what's the value of it? So int value, grab that, and then grab it again and add it to itself. I think what the book meant to do was list.get 0 and list.get 1. As you can see from this table, all of these have a logically named method for grabbing the value and translating it back to the primitive data type. Here's the value that it returns. All right, that's it for wrapper classes. This was a short one.